Hello guys, what is up and welcome back to my channel. It is currently midnight and I'm filming. I'm barely filming this video, but I really wanted to get this out because one of the biggest requests I have been getting is to share how I edit my photos, what apps I use, how I edit my Instagram stories. So we're here. So today's video, I'm gonna be sharing with you guys all the apps that I'm obsessed with. These apps are super cool and it's a fun way to just spice up the way your Instagram feed looks as well as your stories. Now, I've been using these for some over a year and a half, some for about 6 months, and lately I have received an abundance of DMs asking what apps I use for my photos, what apps I use for my stories, how did I get 2 photos to fit into one story, how did I do this, and as I do reply to most, I felt like it was necessary to create this video. And I just hope that they make sense and I explain them well and that you guys love them. I'm sure you guys already know about most of them, but in case you don't, trust me, they are so good and you guys are going to love them. Now, something important to note is that the quality of the photo plays a really big role in the way these apps are going to perform. You don't necessarily have to shoot everything on an amazing professional camera and have a whole studio set up. I do most of my stuff on my iPhones, but just make sure that the lighting is good. Make sure that your lens is clean from any kind of like grasa stains or whatever you may have on there. You just gotta make sure that the photo looks good and the quality looks good. From there, the apps will perform better. Take that into consideration if you guys use these. So let's go ahead and dive into today's video. So my first go-to app that I use on all my photos before I go into any kind of editing is Facetune. This is no lie. I love Facetune. You love Facetune. We all love Facetune. And if somebody says that they don't use Facetune, they're lying.
Why the fuck you lying?
Trust me, we all use it, and there's nothing wrong with using it. I feel just you need to use it in the right way and not abuse it and go overboard. Now, I will admit, when I first learned about the Facetune app, how many times did I just say Facetune right now? Way too many. But the first time I ever used the app, I did not know how to use it. I was so excited though that I just was going in. I look back and I look like a damn alien. Nobody warned me. They were like, just go in, reshape, refine, do this, do that. And I did, and I look back and I'm like, who that? Like, it don't even look like me. So if you go overboard, trust me, it happens. We've all done it. I'm so guilty of it. I think I've deleted half those photos. It's totally fine to use the app. Just know how much to use. So Facetune is an app that you use to pretty much do anything to your photo. You can literally transform yourself into anybody you want to be, which is kind of crazy, but it's such an amazing app to use for smoothing, for color correcting. You can brighten up the whites on your eyes, cinch it in the jaw a little bit, whatever you want to do. And I'm a big fan of it. I literally use it on all my photos. There's been many times where I've even been in like a room and I'll Facetune my face, smooth things out, and then the background is just like not vibing with the photo, and I'll just whiten up the background and it makes the photo just so much better. If you have a hair on your face, on your chest, and you want to take it out, you can patch it out as well. I didn't mention that you could also snatch your waist if you want to snatch it in a little bit. It's just an app that I really love, and I'm gonna show you guys how I use it. So I went ahead and pulled up a photo on my Facetune that I have not Facetuned before. This is a photo that had a lot of makeup, so I want you guys to kind of see what you can do if you're somebody who wants to smooth out anything or want to know how to fix anything. So I'm gonna turn my screen recorder on so you guys can kind of see how it works. So down in the tabs below down here, you're gonna see there is a bunch of options that you have. You can whiten, you can smooth, you can detail, you can reshape, patch. I mean, you can even fix red eyes. There's so much you can do. So the first thing I like to do is always go in with smooth. And with the smoothing option, it's really important that you only tap. Trust me, tap, 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 tap. It's kind of just like pouncing a beauty blender on. You wanna tap, you never wanna swipe across. If you swipe across, I'm gonna show you what will happen. Just look at the face. This is not how you want it to look. So what I like to do instead is go in with the smooth app. I'm gonna start right here at the top and just lightly tap it over. Again, just gonna tap it into the areas that I feel like I want to look just a little smoother. I personally don't mind a little bit of the look of pores right there. But I know for everybody they might not like that, but I actually think it looks good. I actually think it's nice to show some pores. So I'm gonna go ahead and just keep on tapping it around. As you can see, it looks a little smoother, right? You can see the before and after. It's not completely blurred out, but it is good. But to me, this is still realistic. It's nice. Now, let's say you have a pimple like this. It kind of protrudes a little bit on this side and you wanna patch it out. Go to patch. You can literally pick up the patch tool. Ta-da, you are gone. And pretty much what you're doing is you're placing this portion up here first onto a piece of the skin that matches similar to it. You're gonna move the other one on top, and that is how you patch it out. Let's go ahead and do this one down here. And the reason I like to patch it out is because there's only so much smoothing you can do until it starts looking kind of weird. So you kind of want to avoid that as much as possible. So for that reason, I love just using the patch tool to help you out with that. You can see it just made quite a difference, right? Now let's go ahead and work on the insides of my eyes. Let's go ahead and get the whitening tool and we're gonna go ahead and whiten it up. This is really nice if you have kind of any yellowing going on, which I kind of do, or anything that you want to whiten up your teeth or anything at all, you can do that. Now, here's another one that I love to use, and that is the tones. Now, tones, you gotta be very, very careful with it because it's a little wild. See right here, I kind of got a little bit of that casting going on from my hairspray. I'm gonna go ahead and pick it and match it to the center of my hair. From there, I'm gonna grab tones and then just tap it over. What that is doing is just so lightly camouflaging a little bit of that cast I had up there. But you can see when you do before and after, we got a little bit up there. So you gotta take that erase, take it off, there you go. So a little bit of tones always makes a difference. I feel like, especially if you have dark hair and you work with foundation and makeup, if you get it along the sides of your hair, it can look like you have grays. So for that reason, I do like to go with tones, tap it over. As I mentioned to you guys, the tapping movement is key. So reshape allows you to move things in, move things out. But again, you have to just do the bare minimum, you know, less is more. So I like using the Refine app, and the Refine allows you to, as it says, refine the photo. Very minimal things. For example, my, what is this called? I don't know, guys. Mine protrude a little bit too much, so I like to sometimes push them down. See how much better that looks? It's not so bulky. Also along the chin, like who doesn't like a sharper chin? I do. So moving in the chin a little bit. Oh, might have done a little too much right there. Just a little bit of that. It still looks like me, but it just looks better. You know what I mean? Looks a lot better. And then you save afterwards to your camera roll, and that is it. There's no water splash, it says Facetune, nothing like that. You gotta play around with it, take a good photo, and then try it out, and then see how you like it. It's a lot of practice and trial and error, and just make sure that you always hit the before and afters to make sure that it still looks good. You wanna make sure things are not moved in either, you know? Like the wall suddenly curving with your neck, or the walls curving in with your hips. You want to avoid that. So that's just a little tip to know. All right, moving on. So the next app we're gonna talk about is VSCO Cam. This is one that I feel everybody needs on their phone. I use this in almost every single one of my photos because I cannot just upload a basic photo. Like I feel like I need some shadow going on or some brightness or some grain or something. This is like the app that I love to use. So this works perfect for makeup of the days or outfit photos. You can make the photo look very mysterious. You can make it look romantic. You can make it look airy. You can just add depth and color and shadows and all kinds of stuff to it. Now this app to me is one of my favorites, especially when I'm traveling because it sets the mood on my photo. This app really has so many different versions of filters you can add on there. And what I mean by filter is it isn't gonna blur the face and make it look smooth and pretty. No, nothing like that. It's going to add color and change the way things look. I mean, there's just so much you can do. So I'm gonna pull it up so you guys can see. So starting from the top, you can see I have a couple selfies in here. I have a couple makeup photos, some outfit photos. I have just kind of a little bit of everything because I literally import every single photo into here so I can upload it to my page. I feel that I take my stories very seriously and also my Instagram feed. So I will always take my time with it. I'm not somebody that just uploads like at the moment. I do like to add a little bit of something to it. I feel it makes it more unique and very exciting to look at. Let's go ahead and move so you can see. If you tap into this, you can see I use the filter HB1. If you lower this down, you see how it just kind of went from looking like a normal photo to suddenly creating more clarity in the background. The reds pop out a little more. Everything just looks a lot more polished and just sets a vibe, a mood. That's exactly what that does. And that's why I love this app because I do feel you can create that with every single photo. Now, because you used one of the preset filters on the photo, doesn't mean it's gonna work for all of them. So you really have to play around and find out what you love, find out the tones you're into. I know for me, one of my favorites is 06, HB2, I believe it's C7 or C6, and I'll show you guys what I mean. So let's go ahead and use this one for an example. And oh, there you go. So you can see I use the one is 06. Now if I lower it down, again, there is, oh, I did add a grain on there. Again, this is kind of like whatever, but if you put it up, instantly adds like the shadow, a little bit more fierceness to the photo. That is exactly what the app does. It adds so much. So let's say we want to go ahead and play with, you know, different ones. You can really see how the photo is going to look. And what I love about this too is that you can really gauge how you want it to look. If you want it super intense, you can use it all the way to the end. If you kind of just want a little bit of a filter, you can do that as well. Let's go ahead and move up to a couple other photos. Oh, this is a good one right here. We're gonna go into this filter so you can see what it looks like without it. See how it doesn't really do too much. It's not like crazy out of this world difference, but by adding the filter, it immediately adds a mood, a vibe, a tone. It gives you life. Now move down below right here to the second tab. You're gonna see where it has the tools. You'll find exposure, contrast, adjust, sharpen, clarity, and saturation. Like let's say for example, we wanna add a little bit more color. My chichi's looking too light, you know, we're just needing a little bit more to us. You can go ahead and use it, and I mean, it's pretty amazing, but you gotta watch out that she don't look too orange over there. We can go ahead and go to grain. You can add more grain, which is gonna add a really cool kind of vintage vibe to the photo. So if you go to my Instagram page, you'll notice on the ones that I do use it, some of them are edited by Sebastian, and he uses a whole different system on the computer, which I have no idea how to touch. That's a video for him. He owes that to you guys. I don't know anything about that. But yeah, I definitely recommend checking VSCO out. You will not regret it at all. The next app that I am loving and you need on your phone is the Huji app. So Huji is the old school Kodak camera, literally brought to the phone. It looks like this, and it's kind of cool because you can actually take photos on the app. So I'm gonna go ahead and just click it so you can see it's developing. If you go to the lab, see the instant coolness that it brought to the photo. It looks very 1995 Kodak. You just got it developed, and this is like the outcome. So I'm gonna go ahead and scroll to here, and you can see that there is that vibe. What is that called? Like the flare of colors, and it makes, again, any basic photo look incredible. I use this app a lot for my Instagram photos and also my IG stories. Like, look at this. It's just incredible what it does to the photos. And these were all taken on my iPhone, guys. Like, these are not professional photos. They're just on my iPhone. But again, it went from the most basic photo to looking super, super cool. Now, something about this too is that every single time you take a photo or upload a photo, it gives you a different flair. It's never gonna look the same. So you will see that I have 3 of everything. You'll see 1, 2, 3, and each one looks completely different. 1, 2, 3, completely different. 4. And I love using this app when I'm traveling or I have something really cool I want to upload to my stories. And I always get so many comments on my IG stories on what the heck, like, how did you get your photo to look like that? What app is that? And it is literally the Huji app. So you guys need to get the Huji app, get it right now. Something else to know is important is that it is free. However, if you want to import photos from your actual camera roll, I think it's like a one-time 99-cent fee or 1.99 fee, something like that. But that way, if you have photos from your camera roll that you already want to play with, you can go ahead and import it into the app. The next app on my list is Afterlight. Now this one is very similar to VSCO Cam in the terms that you can play with the lighting, you can add a grain, you can do stuff like that. However, I don't use the preset filters on here. I don't like them too much. I like VSCO's a lot better, but they do offer something really cool on here that makes me use the app all the time for that reason. So I'm gonna import a photo on here so you can see what it looks like. And as you can see down below, you have the options to play with the grain, you can play with the hues. There's just kind of so much you can do in there. I feel this kind of reminds me of Lightroom, but it's a little bit more user friendly and not so scary to play with. Now moving to the little triangle right there, if you tap on that, that is where you're gonna see their filters. But as I mentioned, I don't care for their filters. I feel they are a little washed out, even though yes, I know you can move it down. I just have never loved them too much, so for that reason I don't play with them. But if you move to the ring, this is my favorite part about it. So you can go ahead and add all kinds of textures to the phone. You want dust 1, 2, 3, 4, like it gives you options of different styles of dust effects. And what the dust creates is that vintage look. It makes the picture look a little bit more older, gives it just a little bit more of that vibe, and I am here for it. I love that for that reason. Like, look how cool the photo looks. It just looks a lot better. I mean, in some of them, si se pasan, like it's a little bit too much, but I do feel that it really creates an awesome vibe to it. Now, if you don't want to go that intense, you don't have to. If you want them to be black, you can make the specs black or white, however you want. So let's say, for example, we stick with that one. Let's move on with it. If you go to light, this is my favorite part on this app because you can add flares, literally, I don't even know if that's the right word, but you can add these like light flares to your photo, which make it look cool. Let's say you like that, but you know what? I need to rotate it. I need to move it. You can do that as well. You can adjust how intense you want it to be. You want it to be a little bit more purple hues. You can do that as well. There's just so many cool things you can do that really can change the way your photos look and give you a whole new, you know, touch to the photo is what I'm trying to say. Color shift is another favorite one of mine that I love. Look how dope that looks. Like, I live for this one right here. I think it looks so rad. You can add it to be green, you can make it pink, and again, you can adjust how intense you want it to be. And then you can go to the chroma, which does this really cool effect on the photo. So it's definitely one to download to your phone and play with your photos on there. So the next app we're gonna talk about is one that I love to use for my videos, and I use this mainly on my Instagram stories, and that is Rad Video. This really gives you like some rad looking videos. It gives you a totally 1970s, 80s, 90s type of vibe. Makes it look like a VCR type of video. I think it creates a total mood, and it's a really fun way to change up the way your videos look. So what I like about this too is that you can actually record directly from the app or import it from your phone. So I personally like to record it straight from my actual phone and then import it into an app, because sometimes these apps, they can't handle what's going on, you know, what we're recording, and sometimes they'll crash. You never know. So for that reason, I love just kind of recording it on my iPhone, being safe that way, importing it and going from there. But what's cool is that it has the option of this VHS 1, 2, 3, like that's super cool. 4, 5, and then this one's kind of weird, but it's cool. 6, like it just kind of gives you all types of moods, and from there you can save it directly from the app. It saves right away. It never adds a watermark that you use their app or anything like that, and it goes straight onto your stories and you're good to go. You can add music and you have a rad looking video. So that's one to get if you are somebody who likes to record videos for stories or just want to change up the way your video looks. So the last two apps that I use are very similar but a little different, but I'm gonna kind of go ahead and pair them together, and that is Unfold and Storyluxe. Now these have become a favorite of mine this past year. I've really become a big fan of them, and they just are the dopest apps for your stories. I do still use it for my Instagram when I want to create like a little collage like this, where I have like 4 photos in one, where it looks like it came out of a camera roll. This is what I generally use. Now I will be honest with you guys, this app is a little annoying at first. It's kind of confusing, so that's why I want to make sure that you guys follow along with this so you can see. So as you can see, it says IG stories right there. When you press the plus button, you go ahead and add the name of the story, whether you want it to be Instagram, I don't know, babies or food or dogs or whatever you're gonna be creating stories for. Now, I do mine mainly for IG stories, so I'm gonna go ahead and tap in there, and you can see I have different versions of adding multiple photos into one story. So there are times, like this is a really good one. Pretty much what's going on is it's giving you guys like a show of what the palette looks like, and if you tap up here, this one's doing it as well. However, I'm silent in these, so I mute them, and then when I add it to the stories, I add a song, and it looks super, super cool. It looks like, you know, a masterpiece was created. I do this with almost all my stories. Like I add one in the background, I add one in there, and in there. Now I'm gonna show you guys how to get it, but these are just examples so you can see how exactly I like to utilize it. And like, how cool is that? Like this looks rad. And again, these two photos were taken on my camera roll, put to VSCO cam, saved, then added to Unfold, saved, then added to Story. So it does take a while. It's kind of a process, but you want to upgrade the game, this is what you got to get. And you can see I have options in here because sometimes I don't like the way this looks, so let's try another one, and so on. So pretty much you're able to pick what kind of filter you want to play with that day. They have all kinds of versions if you want it to look like there's a little tape going on. If you kind of want it to have a circle and you want to add text to it, you can do it. This is my favorite, the FF one, because it looks literally like a vintage camera roll. I love that. This one's great too because this one looks like you tore it straight out of a magazine. And this one's really nice. This is one that I have actually right here. You can see that there is a video going on in the middle, and then there was a photo added to the back. You can do this on your page. However, it won't exactly fit it to the fullest, so you'll have to crop it down a little bit, which is why then I go directly into the FF1 and use something more like this. I'll add my selfie right in the center. That's it, you know, you upload it and you're good to go. I recommend this for every influencer out there, whether you are working in beauty and fitness or whatever you're into. It is the best. I feel like quality of it looks insane, and people will know you took time on it. I think that's the thing, is that people see it and they're like, wow, they're blown away with the way the stories look. It's exciting and fun to watch your stories. So I highly recommend getting this app if you guys want to just game change your page. And then the last and final app we're gonna talk about is Storyluxe. Now this one isn't so much as an editing app where you can change the colors of the photos, but this one's very similar to Unfold, to where you can literally add multiple photos into one frame. You can create collage looking like pictures. It just makes it look super cool and is like an upgraded version of the collage style photos from 2012. You guys remember when those collage apps came out back in the day and they were really cool, everybody loved them? Yes, I love them too, but I feel like they're so outdated. So these new ones just look so much better and fit perfectly into your Instagram story feed and your Instagram page as well. So as you can see, I have a ton of photos on here that I've added. These all have gone up on my stories. I don't have as many as Unfold because sometimes they don't all fit inside the frame, but like this one right here, this one's actually on my Instagram, and it creates like that postcard style type of picture, and then once I add it out in the actual page, it frames out to be just like that. What's cool is that once it goes on your actual Instagram feed, the white goes away and all that's left is simply just the border in the photos. So that's really nice. Right here is where you can see I've used it for stories. So I will add my swatches into one frame, and then right above it I will add what the product is, which is really fun. Here's another one I did with a dose of colors. So I added all the glosses in the back, which again, the photo was taken on camera, and then from there I edited it on the VSCO app and then brought it back onto here. Also something too that I love about this app is that you can change the branding on the side of the photo. So you see right here how it says dose of colors gloss. Let's say you want to remove that, you can remove it, and all you're gonna see is dose. Let's say you want to have iluvsarahii, like my Instagram name, right? So in case anyone reposts it and they want to know who made it, there we go. It says iluvsarahii on the sides, and they know that it came from my page. I went ahead and did this on Sebastian's birthday. I went ahead and sang happy birthday to him in the morning, and I just added the photo on there. But do you see how it looks super cool having that border on there? It looks like it came out of a camera roll. I love that. And then again, these are just all pictures I've taken that I've played with, I have fun with, and you know, that's kind of the whole thing with this, is having fun with these photos and, you know, getting out of the comfort of just a basic photo. There is one other app that I really love. I guess we're gonna call this a bonus app because I didn't plan on including this in the video, but right now I just realized I probably should, even though it's not really an editing app, but it does really help out with your Instagram page, and it is an app called Unum. I could be saying that wrong. It's UNUM. This app allows you to see your Instagram feed and import the photos that you plan on posting in the future and adjust them so that it all kind of perfectly syncs together. Nothing is worse than uploading two selfies next to each other or right on top of each other, and then it just messes up the way your whole entire grid looks. So this app allows you to pre-add all your photos, move them around. You can decide, I need a selfie over here. You know, it allows you to play with that. The only thing that's weird about it is that you do have to sign in to your Instagram. Like, it directs you to your Instagram. I was really weird about it at first. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. But I have a lot of friends who use it and they told me all about it. So I knew that we were all in good hands and nothing will happen. So don't worry, nobody will hack your account or anything like that. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys download all these apps. If you guys already have them, super cool. I'm glad that we're on the same page. But if you guys don't, just know that I really recommend them, and I hope you guys love them as much as I do. So with that being said, guys, have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video.